Hello, and I welcome you to this session of Python Oracle Connectivity. In today's session, we'll be discussing about the create table option and inserting a list into a table at the backend and the delete statement. So let me just begin from the point where we left in the previous lecture. We were discussing the execute statement, which is used to transfer values into the table at the backend, and we saw a problem in which we transferred different values using the insert and the execute statement and the bind variables. Let us now discuss today how we can send an entire list to a table at the backend, and we'll be using the Executemany statement for that. So let me just open up a program for you. Yeah. So here I've written a create table query here. So I'm creating a table, my tab, with two attributes, ID, which is of type int, and constraint is primary key, and name of varchar2 20. And once I execute this, obviously the table would be created at the backend. You may write con.commit if you wish, but it is not required since this create table is a DDL statement. So whether I write it or not, the table is automatically created and saved at the backend. So before I run this program, let us go and see whether we have already got this table here. So what I can do is I can write here select star from tab. It would display the list of all the tables that I have. So I don't have a table my tab here. It's not created. So let's go to this code and run it. Obviously here as usual I am connecting to Oracle, and then I'm creating a cursor object from the connection object, and then I'm executing a query create table this. So obviously this table would be created with these two attributes, ID and name as primary key. That means it won't be accepting null values. And then I close the cursor and the connection objects. So let me just execute this. So the query is executing, and we'll see that the table would be created at the backend. The query is executed. So let's now go to our SQL and once again list the table. So now you can see a table my tab is there. You can see the structure of this table also here. So you can see that the my tab table has two attributes, ID, which is a primary key, so a not null is there, and the name of size 20, it's a varchar. Okay. So let us now populate this table my tab. Right now it is not having any values. If I write here, so there are no rows in this table. So what I'll do is I'll transfer an entire list into this table using one statement. Let's see how we can do it. So let me open up the code for you for this. So here I've taken up this example where I've taken a list with the name as rows, and obviously it has got a list has got a set of two values, one an integer which would be there for ID and the second for the name. So 7 values are there. So while you are transferring a list into a table, there you need to tell how many values are there in the list and what are the sizes or data types of the variables which are going to go back into the columns of the table. So here we have got 7 values in the list, so we need an attribute bind array size. So I'll write cur.bind array size is equal to 7, and cur.set input sizes attribute. Here if the data type of the attribute is int, I will write int. If it is float, I'll write float. But if it is a char or a varchar, there I must specify the maximum size. So the maximum size, as we saw here in our table here, is 20 for this varchar. Okay. So what was our program is Q3, right? So I mentioned here 20 as the size. So you understand this thing, that the number of values is a bind array size attribute, and the set input sizes is you must give a type or a maximum size in case of char here with this attribute. And then you can just one statement, cur.executemany, you write the insert into statement. So insert into my tab, ID comma name is the name of the attributes of this table my tab, and values :1 and :2 are the bind variables, and we pass this entire list here as a argument here. So all the values of this would be transferred to the table. And here in this program, I have again written a query to once the values are there. So I have selected the values back from my backend, select star from my tab. So obviously all the values would be there in this variable res, and there's a list, and I can pass through that list to print all the values. And I also show you the values at the backend. We can also see the values at the backend. So let me run this code for you. So obviously this code runs and the values are displayed here also. And if we go to our backend, and if we just select the values, so we can see all the values are here, they have been inserted. So in this way you can insert an entire list into a table, and for that for multiple entries you can use the Executemany statement. Now, similar is the concept of the the delete. So if we just see this, the create table and the delete, you just need to write the queries. In case of create table, you write the query and it can be executed using the execute statement, and no need for a commit there because create table is a DDL command. And in case of a delete, you do need the commit statement, and query can be written and executed. So to illustrate these concepts, let me just open up another program for you. Let's open up Q6. Yeah. So here you see the same things, connecting and cursor. And then here I've written a constant deletion. Delete from emp where emp number is equal to 2000. Delete from emp where emp number is equal to :1 is a bind variable. And here I need to give a sequence. So I'll discuss one point here with you, which you will find very interesting. So if we run this program here now, and obviously I would display here the values which I have. So obviously the employee number 2000, 3000 and 4000 I've removed. 2000 and 3000 would be removed from here. I'm mentioning the constants here, 2000 and 3000, and the value of the emp number in A I would pass as 4000. So I can remove all these three records. So let me now once again come to my code. I'm sorry. Yeah. This code. Now I'm taking a sequence out here. Can you see? But this is not a sequence because a sequence must have at least two values. Okay. So this single value as a sequence is not acceptable for a bind variable. So if I try to run this code, then this statement would be executed, but here an error would be there because it won't be able to distinguish what type of variable this :1 is, because in a sequence there must be at least two values. So let me run this code for you. Okay. And if I run this code, obviously the first part runs, but the second part here is not able to understand, because this is not exactly a sequence. It needs at least two values for a sequence. So we must use a dictionary. Okay. And this is not a sequence. This is just a single value. So let me go back to my program and use a dictionary here. So to use a dictionary, obviously I need to mention first the bind variable name and then the value here. So now I am using a dictionary here, and same should be done here. I need to use a dictionary here, and I need to use this bind variable value. Okay, and now the code is okay. Okay, so now this will remove the rows with employee number 2000 from here and 3000 from here, and the value of A I'll pass as 4000. So because I need to remove the last three rows, 2000, 3000 and 4000. So let me go back to my program now and run it for you. Okay. And when I run this, obviously the first two queries have executed, and let me give the value here as 4000. So this also executes, and let us now go back to our backend to see whether actually we have deleted these rows from here. Yes, we have deleted these rows from here. So this is how you can use the delete statement, the create table statement, and in this example, in this video, we also saw how we can take care of passing an entire list to a table at the back end. This was done with the help of this program. I repeat that rows is a list, and the cursor two attributes are there. Bind array size is the number of values in the list that must be mentioned here, and the input sizes of the all the variables, all the you know attributes of the list must be mentioned. So in case of int or float should be written. In case of char or varchar2, the size, the maximum size should be mentioned of the column. The column size should be mentioned. Okay, so that is how we can do all these queries. So in this small series, I have discussed the various crude operations with you, that is creating, reading, deleting. Updating is left, but I think that would be done with the same concept. You can just write a query and you can execute it. So I may come up with the video on update you all desire. Till then, happy learning, and do test your connectivity and write good queries for your projects. Thank you.